everybody, Tristan here, back in the office. If you're new to the channel, this channel is all about 3D printing, my journey from starting a 3D print form business from nothing and seeing just how far we can take it. So if you're interested in 3D printing, this channel might just be for you. In today's video, I want to talk about the essentials for starting a 3D print form business. What are the top things that I really think you need to get started? And you don't have to have a huge budget, but yes, things do add up these days. So we're going to talk about what are the things that you really need so you're not wasting your time, wasting your money, so you can actually start getting some things in order so that you can start printing things and getting some sales, generating some money, and you can build up from there. So let's jump on over and talk about what it is that I believe are the essentials that you need to get started.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, first things first. If you're going to start a 3D print business, you're going to have a 3D printer. So let's jump over here and take a look at the one that I got, which is the Bambu Lab P1S series. So it does have an enclosure. As you can tell, we're actually in the middle of a print, so I'll give you a quick sneak peek at that. So there it is in action. You can see moves pretty quick. We're right in the middle of a print right now. But yeah, the Bambu Lab P1S, that's what I have. That is the very first printer that I got. So when it comes to printers, how big of a printer should you get? Well, to be honest, the biggest one that your budget will allow for, in my opinion, because here's the thing. You can start small and build up, right? But if your budget already allows for a little bit bigger printer, that's obviously going to give you the opportunity to do some bigger projects a little bit sooner on. And I do think that that is a plus if you can afford it. But here's the thing. You don't have to start off with this. You can start off with a smaller printer. Now, when it comes to the printers, I will say this. There's lots of other companies out there. There's lots of other 3D printers, okay? This is my experience. This is what I purchased after doing a lot of research. I do believe Bambu Lab is one of the top best options to start with if you're starting a 3D print business. But if you like tinkering with things, if you like knowing exactly how every part works and moves, and that is you, well, I will say that there's probably other companies out there that's better for you, especially if you're not really starting a business. Maybe you just want to do a side hustle. This is more of a hobby or something for you. But again, in this channel, in this video, we're going to focus on building a 3D business. And in my opinion, Bambu Lab comes ready to go. You don't have to know every little part. You don't have to put it together and spend hours of figuring all the things out. With Bambu Labs, you can focus really on getting the machine out of the box and printing right away. And that, to me, is valuable because we don't have to spend that initial time going through the headaches and the learning of figuring every little part out. So we can focus on the designs, the items, products that we're going to sell, and building the actual business, not building a machine. Now, I know some of you out there will say, well, if something happens, you need to know how to fix it. You're exactly right. So there is knowledge that is worth something if you learn it from the beginning, building it up. So I'm not knocking that. I do think that is great information. It's very valuable. It will help you along the way in your business or your hobby. But I do believe initially, if you really want to hit the ground running and get revenue coming in, we need to focus on the business and not every little thing with the machine, right? So again, knowledge is key to anything. Growing a business, you need to be learning how your business runs and operates, no doubt. But I do believe focusing on getting good quality prints, good quality items that are going to sell and generating that revenue, that's going to give you the front foot forward to keeping motivated for one, but also starting to generate revenue, see it physically happen, tangible money coming into your account, and I think that's going to push you along. And as you have the ability to grow and scale, as you get good quality prints, you can spend more time, figuring out the things that might happen, may go wrong with the 3D printer, and build on that later.
Another thing you're going to need to create and launch a 3D printing business is a way to take good quality photos of your items so that you can represent them well and your customers know exactly the quality of the product that you have for sale. All of us walk around with one of these days, pretty much. A smartphone's camera would do just fine. You've probably got one of these in your hand or your pocket right now, and this is perfectly fine to get started. It will take good quality photos. As long as you have a good quality smartphone, this will do the trick. Now, let's talk about lighting really quick, and then we're going to jump to another camera that I do use and recommend. So, lighting. You can get by with window light, natural light at certain points of the day. It will take a decent quality photo, but I do really recommend that you actually invest more on a lighting kit, preferably with some type of softbox or diffusing box. That way you can have a good quality light, but you can diffuse that light so it's not just glaring that light right on the product. You can have good, well lit light that's diffused on the product or around the product, and that's going to take the best quality photo that you can get, is having a really good quality light with a good quality box to diffuse that light, and that is going to make your product videos, or excuse me, your product photos turn out that much better. So smartphone, go with what you've got. Spend the money on the lighting kit. That is what I recommend. Now, if you do have a bigger budget to get started with things and you want that really good photo, and you're going to be able to get a really good lighting kit as well, then here's the camera that I use. It's actually one of the cameras that's filming this right now that you're looking at, and that is the Sony ZVE Mark 10. And this is just a great all around camera for taking photos, taking videos, doing vlogs. It really is a reasonable price camera that kind of does it all. So yes, there's cameras that's more focused on photos, more focused on video. You can get higher price cameras than this for sure, but this is a really good quality camera that does a little bit of it all. So you can take good quality pictures with this. You can upload those, and your listings should do great with a camera like this. You can also use this for video as well. What you see right here, this is a good quality camera that I use for filming as well. So if you do want that, I'll link it in the video description below. You can take a look at it on Amazon. You can get the camera with a little kit for around $700 or just under $700 at the time of this filming. All right, now let's talk filament, okay? You can definitely get filament from Bambu Lab, and it'll come in a spool. This spool from Bambu Lab, or all the spools from Bambu Lab, are better quality than a lot of them that you'll get out there. This is a reusable spool. You can reuse these. They're like a much better quality spool. It's like plastic. So this is a lot better than some of the ones that you can order on Amazon. I will say that a lot of those are going to be just like cardboard. It works just fine, but this is more reusable. So if you want to go with something like that, Bambu Lab is going to be a great option for good quality filament for your 3D printer, of course. So I do highly recommend ordering from Bambu Lab, but there are some cases in which I do recommend ordering some from Amazon. But here's the great thing. Ordering from some of these companies on Amazon, you can get it like shipped to your house the next day or two. So here's why I'm saying this, all right? You might not be able to spend, or you may not want to spend like over $50 on Bambu Labs, right? You may only want to buy, one spool to get started. It just depends on your budget, all right? I do recommend getting more if you can, but if you can't, get one from Amazon. And there are a couple of good quality companies out there, and I'll link them down in the description below if you want to check those out. So I'll link 2 different companies that I buy from on Amazon, both of which I buy from, both of which I do recommend. They're still good quality, and you're going to be able to get those shipped to you a little bit quicker than Bambu Labs. One thing is you're going to want a heat gun. Now, this is a DeWalt heat gun. You can get this on Amazon. This is the one that I'm using, okay? I haven't had to use it a whole lot, all right? Bambu Lab is doing great. If you have good quality files, good quality designs, it will print out without a whole lot of issues. But there's sometimes that something's going to happen. You're going to have some strings. Something may not look just right. You can use a heat gun and smooth that out a little bit. and get rid of those light strings and things like that. So I do believe that this is an essential tool to really up your game, to be able to potentially make a product look nicer, smoother, get rid of the imperfections, right? So this could save you from possibly a print that's not going to sell because it just doesn't look quite good. There's a few blemishes here. So this will really help take those blemishes out. Again, you don't have to go with DeWalt. You don't have to go with this one. This one's going to be like 90 something bucks, I believe, around $100 on Amazon. I will link it in the video description below. If this is something that you want, again, I'll have that link so you can get it. But you can go with a cheaper one. There's lots of other cheaper options out there. I just like the DeWalt brand. It also fits with the batteries, and it kind of goes with the tools that I use anyway. So I got this one, but you can go with a cheaper heat gun. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You're going to need some of these little cutters right here. Now you can see these do have a little bit of a slant, okay? You can get these pliers, these little snipper cutters like this on Amazon, okay? So I will link these down below too. These are super cheap. These are like $6, something like that. You can get them on Amazon. This is just going to help you be able to cut some things out. If you got some little bit bigger strings or something, you could snip this off. Also, just cutting the filament. When it comes on the spool, sometimes from Bamboo Lab, I can't get that tape off that comes off at the end of a new roll of filament on the spool. So I'll just use these and clip that off, and then I can stick it in the line in the printer. All right, the other thing that I do believe is essential is getting you some calipers, okay? So let me show you what this looks like. You may know, you may not, but for those of you that are just starting out, I never used these before, so I ordered these recently after doing some research. This is going to help you out with your designs, okay? So if you plan on designing your own products, which I do recommend you learning if you're going to start a business, that you get some calipers like this so you can actually measure things out and get a good sense of what you need to make your design if you're going to make a design such as a part to fit something else. And I do believe that there is a good market and good money to be made in selling things that fit other things or parts for other well-known tools or devices out there. So this will allow you to get those measurements down so you can really tune in what you need to design to actually fit the tool or the part, the machine, the device, whatever the case may be, that you're trying to get that to print and fit on, right? So this is the digital calipers. You can get some cheaper ones that are not digital. Excuse me. Then you're gonna have to learn how to read them. I don't really know all that. I just wanted the easy way because again, I want to focus on the designs and the sales and building this business up, not having to learn every little thing. Now, I do believe it's important to learn these things, but we can come back to these as we get the business up and going. So this is what I would recommend: a digital caliper. You can get this on Amazon. I got this one in the little black case that you just saw for around 25 bucks, I do believe. Again, if you want it, I'll link it down below in the video description so you can look at this one on Amazon if you want this one. There are some other things that we will need if you're going to actually do this as a business. So let's jump over and take a quick look at that. Here we are on Amazon, and you can see I've already been like looking, and I've got some things kind of saved over here. It says keep shopping for, although I've already ordered some of these things. See, there is our little pliers, and I've already got our little cutter pliers here. So there's a few other things though. You're going to need to be able to ship this stuff out, right? So now we have to look kind of at that shipping side of things. We're going to need the boxes, and here's kind of what we can do, okay? I've picked some boxes out that are going to work with most of the products that I'm selling right now. Now, I will say this. It would probably be beneficial to order, a few different size boxes for different products, different size products once you get up and going. But right now, I'm trying to find a box that works with most of the items that I'm printing and going to be selling or am selling right now, okay? So this box right here is doing very well for what I need. It is a 10 by 8 by 6 box, and you can get this. Let's take a look. You can get this on Amazon. Okay, this box, the 10 by 8 by 6, you can get 100 of them for $60. That's about 60 cents a piece. That's not bad. Okay, now we might be able to get them in bulk cheaper somewhere else, possibly later on. But right now, again, this is Amazon. You've got Prime. This is should ship to you pretty quick. It's also Amazon's choice, so that means a little something. It's got a lot of reviews. It's a 4.6 star out of 5. So pretty good quality boxes. This size for me in particular is going to fit several different things that I'm printing. So I can have one box stored up that will ship every item out right now. I just think that's simpler for starting out. I don't have to worry about multiple boxes and more expensive buying different size boxes, and then also the storage of multiple size boxes right now. I do think growing, we will have to get to that. But for right now, this box will work with any item that I'm going to ship. And if it's a smaller item, we're going to get some wrapping paper or shipping paper, bubble wrap. You can use some different stuff, but we can wrap it around the product, keep it safe, secure, not banging and bouncing around, because we all know how shipping is these days. Sometimes it doesn't always arrive there safely. So we want to prevent it from breaking. I do recommend wrapping it in something. So you're going to need the boxes again, $60. You can get 100, 60 cents a piece. That's not bad. Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's go back and look at a few other things. Here is this packing paper, and this is what I've got. Okay, this is what I've got, what I'm ordering right here. This is the packing paper. It's 15 inches by 200 feet. Okay, so not too bad. Again, it's one of those Amazon choices. We've got some good reviews. 4.5 out of 5 stars on this. One thing about this, you can look over here and see this is paper, but it kind of like folds out. It like has these little honeycomb things that fold out, so you can actually have more filler in there, I guess. Instead of just flat paper, it kind of bounces out and it kind of helps fill and hold the item together and hold it in the box a little more securely. So pretty cool right here. This is something that I'm going to be using. This kind of paper is cheaper, in my opinion, from a lot of the actual bubble wrap. So the plastic bubble wrap that you'll see. Not saying that you can't use that. You absolutely can. You might be able to find some within a reasonable price range, but so far I think this is a really good value. You've got 15 inches by 200 feet. That's quite a bit, and we're talking $21, $20.99, so $21, and you've got this. You can ship several items, a lot of items out with this one row, and you're talking $21. So not bad. Again, I will link this in the description below if you want to grab this stuff. I'll make it easy and accessible for you. This is the stuff that I'm using. This is the stuff that I really believe is essential to get going. Now let's look at shipping labels, and what I use is Rollo. So you can get the Rollo shipping labels. You can get like a pack of 500. So these are the 4x6 labels. If you've got a label printer, these are just really good quality. You can get cheaper ones, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I usually get the Rollo ones. There's 500 here, and you're talking about $20. $20 for 500. So you're in them around 3 cents a piece, something like that, I believe. So again, it's a little cost, but it's not that bad. If you don't have a printer of any kind, or you want to get a thermal shipping label printer, I do recommend the Rollo. I have this one right here. This is the USB. So you have to plug it in. The USB shipping label printer. They do make a wireless one now. It is more expensive though. This one does the job just fine. If you want that luxury, nothing wrong with that at all. But the wired one works just fine. It's $200, so it is a little pricey. But let me tell you right now, you don't have to have this, especially getting started. I have this, but remember, I've been in business for a while. I've been selling online on eBay for 7 years or so. So this is something that I did not invest in when I first started on selling online or selling on eBay. I invested in this once I was probably a year or so in. I got tired of printing the shipping labels out on paper, cutting it out, and then taping it on. That does slow you down. It does take longer. So if you want to have the most efficient day, printing out a shipping label on paper is absolutely doable, especially in the beginning, especially if you want to keep costs down to that minimum. But if you want the luxury of being able to be more efficient and faster, I do recommend having one of these, especially once you start to get some several orders per day. This just is going to make sense. It's going to save you a good bit of time. But from the beginning, you don't even have to have this. So just to show you that, this is what I'm using. But you don't have to have it. You can absolutely just use any printer in your house. You can print it right out of the computer on regular paper. You'll just have to cut it out and then tape it on to your box or your package. That is something that I'm using to make it more efficient and a little bit quicker. So now we have all of the shipping supplies that we really need. We've got our printer, we've got our paper, we've got our shipping labels, and these are the essentials to actually ship an item out pretty much. But there is one more item that I do want to talk about, and that is a shipping scale. I do recommend a shipping scale. Now, I'm not really going to show you one of these. I'm probably not going to link a shipping scale down below. Just know that you can go here to Amazon and type in shipping scale, search for that, and they've got them here. Here is a Rollo. Rollo is just a really good brand. They deal in shipping supplies, so I do recommend a lot of Rollo products. Here's a Rollo shipping scale, $39.99. We're talking $40. Not bad at all. 4.7 stars out of 5. That's with 424 reviews at the time of this filming. So $40 for a name brand Rollo shipping scale. I do believe you're going to want a shipping scale because you need to know really down to the T, the best you can, how much something's going to weigh. That's really going to help determine the shipping cost for your customer or how much you're going to be paying in shipping costs if you're going to do free shipping. So do highly recommend getting a shipping scale. I don't have this one in particular. I actually ordered mine from the Postal Service, so the USPS website. I actually ordered that back some years ago. At the time, the one from the Postal Service was like $80 that I got, I believe, give or take a little bit, but it was around $80. If we go back, we can see you can get a smaller one here for around $20. Let's see what else we got. Here's another one for around $20. So you can get a shipping scale on Amazon for $20. 25. Here's one for 25 right here. Not bad. It's a decent size shipping scale. Now, if you're going to be doing bigger items, you may need a bigger scale. So those are really the essential things that I recommend that you need. We've got our printer, you've got the filament, you've got a heat gun, you've got digital calibers or a caliber of some kind. You don't have to get the digital ones. They're just easier to read right out of the box. You've got your little snipper cutters here. So I'll link all this down in the video description below. But this is the stuff that I've bought starting from ground zero that I do believe is essential to get a 3D print up and going, especially if you're going to do this as a business. These are the things that I do believe you'll need. One thing that I haven't mentioned is that as you grow, if you get a few of these, you're going to want some good quality shelving. Those are the things I definitely think you're going to need to get started, to be fairly efficient and be able to get up and going and start generating some sales, because that's what it's all about in growing a 3D print business, right? We want to get products out. We want to get good quality products. So we want to have some things that can help us along the way there and start generating those sales so we can start growing this 3D print farm business. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope this was valuable to you in some form or fashion. I greatly appreciate you following my journey. If you haven't already, give me a like. Think about subscribing if you like content like this. If you're into the 3D prints, in the 3D print world, and you're starting a business, I would appreciate a subscribe. Follow me on the journey. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe I can learn something from you. I will catch you guys in the next upcoming video.